Hello, Rama Pupodu. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a happy and peaceful life. Now let's continue with the next devotee, ChaganlalVYogi. Swami Madhava Tirtha, the saint, had to travel to Arunachala for receiving the grace of Bhagavan. In contrast with the skeptic ChaganlalVYogi, the master went to him. ChaganlalVYogi was a confirmed atheist. He denied the existence of God, scoffed at sages and saints, and was convinced that because of them the world was filled with corruption, inequality, and misery. As a young man, he was a hard worker. In the metropolitan city of Mumbai, he was recognized as such and had a good reputation. He owned a printing press, and as he was a very entertaining conversationalist, he had many friends, but all their efforts to make him give up his skepticism met with no success. One day, when Chaganlal Yogi was commuting by a local train, one of his close friends who had been to Ramana Ashramam and had the darshan of Ramana Maharishi told him about his greatness and how he was God in human form. Chaganal laughed at him, though with sympathy and pity. The friend persisted. Here, I have brought Vibhuti, holy ash, from Ramana Ashramam, from holy Arunachala. Please apply a little on your forehead. Chaganlal would have none of it. A few days later, another friend who also had been to Ramana Ashramam gave him a beautifully illustrated book, Sri Maharishi, and said, I am coming from Ramana Ashramam. Chaganlal, believe me, the Maharishi is God. Go to Arunachala and see Ramana Maharishi. You will then definitely change your skeptic views, or else at least read this book. Being a printer, Chaganlal felt he had to go through the attractively printed book. Through yet another friend, he then received a copy of Self-Realization, the authentic biography of Ramana Maharishi by B.V. Narasimha Swami. Chaganlal was surely but slowly falling into the tiger's jaws. When he started reading Self-Realization, many doubts started rising in his mind. He still had no opinion of Ramana Maharishi, but he wrote to him about his doubts. Though the replies he got were logical, Chaganlal felt they were merely intellectual. Still, he had to concede that there was some depth in them. This mere intellectual knowledge and understanding is not sufficient. I must have direct experience. Propelled by this strong feeling and the persuasion of his friends, Chaganlal the skeptic set off for Tiruvannamalai in 1938-39. When he came to the presence of Bhagavan, he felt Bhagavan focusing his look on him. Immediately, Chaganlal started feeling the peace of Bhagavan's spiritual benevolence. He now felt that the presence, the affection, and the compassion of Bhagavan were all very genuine. Chaganlal himself had recorded what exactly happened to him at that moment. The darkness in me that had been heavy and unbearable before gradually lightened and melted into a glow within. My erstwhile sadness disappeared completely, leaving in my heart an inexplicable joy. My limbs appeared to be washed in an ocean tide of freedom. The color of the world changed for me, and the light of the day now took on an ethereal aspect. I saw the foolishness and futility of turning my gaze on the dark side of the life. Bhagavan, the strange magician, had opened before me a fresh new world of illumination and joy. Thus, I was caught in the tiger's jaws. He went there for just a day, but he could not release himself away from the benevolent influence. It was neither hypnotism nor murmurism, but pure love, compassion, and peace. He returned to the presence of the Maharishi again and again. Once, in a dream, Bhagavan held his hands and took him to the top of Arunachala. Chaganlal Yogi deeply felt that this was a symbol of Bhagavan's assurance that he would attain the goal of life. Many other devotees too have had this same dream of Bhagavan appearing before them and taking them to the top of the holy hill. Chaganlal Yogi could no more bear to be away from Bhagavan. He wanted to always be at the holy feet of his master. He was prepared to give up the world and make Arunachala his permanent abode, but he was also conscious that he had to maintain his family. Despite this, in 1945, he decided to sell his printing press. Let's continue in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupodu.